Have the Foo Fighters found a way to move forward with their careers? We'll let you know. In the music industry, losing a member of a group isn't just something that's sad, it can be catastrophic for the group as a whole. Because whether they're a singer or a person playing an instrument, they're a key part of the group in all the ways that matter. Especially when they're friends or like family. For the Foo Fighters, they've been a staple of music for a long time. And then, last month, they lost their drummer. And it caused a lot of things. We'll show you where they are now, though. The loss of Taylor Hawkins. Taylor Hawkins, for 25 years the drummer for Foo Fighters and best friend of frontman Dave Grohl, died during a South American tour with the rock band. He was 50. There were few immediate details on how Hawkins died, although the band said in a statement Friday that his death was a tragic and untimely loss. Columbia's prosecutor's office released a statement soon after saying toxicological tests on urine from Hawkins' body preliminarily found 10 psychoactive substances and medicines, including marijuana, opioids, tricyclic antidepressants, and benzodiazepines. It did not provide a cause of death, and investigations continue as to the true and definitive cause of his death. Foo Fighters have been scheduled to play at a festival in Bogota, Colombia on that upcoming Friday in March. Hawkins' final concert was the previous Sunday at another festival in San Isidro, Argentina. His musical spirit and infectious laughter will live on with all of us forever, said a message on the band's official Twitter account that was also emailed to reporters. Our hearts go out to his wife, children, and family. The Bogota municipal government issued a statement that the city's emergency center had received a report of a patient with chest pain and sent an ambulance, though a private ambulance had already arrived at the hotel in northern Bogota. Health workers tried to revive him, but were unable to do so. It was a band I grew up with. This leaves me empty, Juan Sebastian Onchique told the Associated Press as he mourned Hawkins outside the hotel. The stars of the show. After Grohl, Hawkins was the most recognizable member of the group, appearing alongside the lead singer in interviews and playing prominent, usually comic roles in the band's memorable videos and their recent horror comedy film, Studio 666. Hawkins was Alanis Morissette's touring drummer when he joined Foo Fighters in 1997. He played on the band's biggest album, including One by One and In Your Honor, and on hit singles like Best of You. In Grohl's 2021 book, The Storyteller, he called Hawkins his brother from another mother, my best friend, a man for whom I would take a bullet. Upon first meeting, our bond was immediate, and we grew closer with every day, every song, every note that we ever played together. Grohl wrote, "We were absolutely meant to be, and I am grateful that we found each other in this lifetime." It's the second time Grohl has experienced the death of a close bandmate. Grohl was the drummer for Nirvana when Kurt Cobain died in 1994. Tributes poured out on social media for Hawkins. God bless you, Taylor Hawkins, Rage Against the Machine guitarist Tom Morello said on Twitter, along with a photo of himself, Hawkins, and Jane's Addiction singer Perry Farrell. I loved your spirit and your unstoppable rock power. What an incredible talent, who didn't also need to be so kind and generous and cool, but was all of those things too anyway, tweeted Phineas, Billie Eilish's brother, co-writer and producer. The world was so lucky to have his gifts for the time that it did. A concert organizer first announced the performance was canceled for medical reasons. Minutes later, fans learned from social media of Hawkins' death. Some cried, others were sad, astonished, moved. It was a very powerful moment, Baez said. A screen projected the words, Taylor Hawkins Forever, while the song My Hero played. Hawkins Life. Born Oliver Taylor Hawkins in Fort Worth, Texas in 1972, Hawkins was raised in Laguna Beach, California. He played in the small Southern California band Sylvia before landing his first major gig as a drummer for Canadian singer Sass Jordan. Hawkins told the Associated Press in 2019 that his early drumming influences included Stuart Copeland of The Police, Roger Taylor from Queen, and Phil Collins, who he said was one of my favorite drummers ever. You know, people forget that he was a great drummer, as well as a sweater-wearing nice guy from the 80s. Poor fella. When he spent 2 years in the mid-1990s drumming for Morissette, he was inspired primarily by the playing of Jane's Addiction Stephen Perkins. My drums were set up like him, the whole thing, Hawkins told the AP. I was still sort of a copycat at that point. It takes a while. It takes a little while to sort of establish your own sort of style. I didn't sound exactly like him. I sound like me, but he was a big, huge influence. He and Grohl met backstage at a show when Hawkins was still with Morissette. Grohl's band would have an opening soon after when the drummer William Goldsmith left. Grohl called Hawkins, who is a huge Foo Fighters fan, and immediately accepted. "I am not afraid to say that our chance meeting was a kind of love at first sight, igniting a musical twin flame that still burns to this day," Grohl wrote in his book. "Together, we've become an unstoppable duo, on stage and off, in pursuit of any and all adventures we can find." Hawkins first appeared with the band in the 1997 video for the Foo Fighters' most popular song, Everlong, although he had yet to join the group when the song was recorded. He would, however, go on to pound out epic versions of it hundreds of times as the climax of the Foo Fighters concerts. As you can see, he was a key part of all that happened, and he will be missed. Cancelled tour. The Foo Fighters' upcoming tour dates have been cancelled following the recent death of Taylor Hawkins, the band announced on social media in late March. "It is with great sadness that Foo Fighters confirm the cancellation of all upcoming tour dates in the light of the staggering loss of our brother Taylor Hawkins," the message read. "We're sorry for and share in the disappointment that we won't be seeing one another as planned. Instead, let's take this time to grieve, to heal, to pull our loved ones close, and to appreciate all of the music and memories we've made together." It makes perfect sense that they would go and cancel the tour. How could they not? They just lost the drummer that had been with them for over 2 decades. That's not just something you replace overnight, nor should they have tried to. And yes, that cancellation did indeed include a performance that they were supposed to do at the Grammys in early April. But it was fair that they were replaced on that night and on subsequent nights where they were supposed to attend, but obviously couldn't. So obviously, now that raises the question, can the Foo Fighters continue? That is something that we cannot personally answer, nor expect to predict on behalf of the band because we didn't have a connection to Hawkins like they did. One fan wrote a piece on this topic and noted the importance of Hawkins in various ways, including, "Hawkins was, in a sense, the band identity for Foo Fighters, the person who made this one-time solo venture feel like a real gang. But more than that, Hawkins earned his share of the spotlight. If you have a handsome blonde who can still pull off drumming shirtless well into middle age, you put him where the audience can see and appreciate him." And as noted before, he was the drummer for the band for 25 years. He knew all their best songs by heart and could easily make them shine in any concert venue he was in. That's something you just don't replace. There have been plenty of bands that disband after losing a key member. Other times, they try and find as good a replacement as they can and carry on. It's all about what they think that is both best and what is fair. It hasn't even been a month yet since the loss of Hawkins, and as such, the question of the Foo Fighters, where are they now, is likely that they're still in shock and disbelief over the loss of their friend. And until they push forward in one direction or another, that's where they'll continue to be. So, what do you think? What do you think of this look at the Foo Fighters, the loss of their drummer, and what's next for them? What do you think the band is going to do next personally? Will they try and keep going? Or will they just take a break and mourn the loss of their dear friend? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time on the channel.